Hello everyone, my name is Ian Thompson. I'm a carpenter joiner by trade. This is my experience. In 2017, I had a breakdown. I wasn't getting enough sleep at the time, and I had quite a lot of things that would cause someone to be stressed out. And as a result, I had a series of sleep deprivation, and for about a week I didn't sleep. I tried everything that anyone would try to get a peaceful, restful night's sleep. I turned, I tossed, I leave from the proper place of sleeping on the bed to down the bed bottom, and no sleep whatsoever. I left my bedroom into my living room to get some sleep, no sleep. And it ended up with me ended up in Lewisham Hospital. And friends, I can recall moments when my son prayed, and he prayed. When I was taken to the hospital, I didn't know myself. I couldn't recognize my own wife. I couldn't recognize no one. I didn't know who I was. When everything tests and so was taken, doctor told my wife, told my mom, my siblings, that I had a psychotic episode. Things I was doing, things I was saying, friends, I didn't know who I was. I have lost my mind. And I know, had it not been for the prayer that people prayed for me, and especially my son who cried out to God while I was there in hospital, asking the Lord to let Daddy come home for his birthday. And friends, God answered those prayers. My stay there at the hospital was one of great shock to me. When I was taken there to the hospital, I thought I was being there just overnight. When I woke up and I questioned what's happening, where am I? Why am I here? Then they told me what happened. I thought I was just there overnight. And I could recall moments before I was taken to the hospital while I was at home. I could recall having a shower, and I was told that I had the water boiling, hot water, and I was under that water having a shower. And things happened that, friends, it would traumatize anyone. My children were traumatized, my wife was traumatized, myself was traumatized by what took place. I didn't know what was going on. And the ambulance were called. I could recall the cry of my children as the ambulance approached, knowing that I was gonna be taken away to the hospital. This was a stressful moment for my family. And this experience was one which called for great intercessory prayer. My family prayed, my children prayed, my church brethren was alert, and they all prayed for me. And I tell you, it was a miracle that I came out of that hospital. And this wasn't just somewhere in Lewisham Hospital, beloved. This was the Maudsley. My children prayed. My family prayed. My church brethren prayed. This went even to Jamaica. My relative down there started to cry. And friends, I can recall moments before I left, while the ambulance was approaching, my son take hold of my head. He was about 10, 11, and he prayed a prayer. Friends, never underestimate the power of a praying child. God moved mightily through the cries of children. And the prayers of the brethren, my wife, my daughter, everyone comes together praying, petitioning God on my behalf. When I was told that I had a psychotic episode, it hit me to know that depression has led such far that I couldn't recognize who I was. I couldn't recognize my wife. I couldn't recognize my children. And I was in that hospital for over a week. Almost 2 full weeks. I was in the Maudsley. And the power of God through prayer, God began to work. That it was a miracle working power that the doctors were amazed at the recovery of this young man. And I was able to be released back home. And while I was there, I began myself to pray. When I came around, I began to pray and give God praises, give God the glory. And this song that you're hearing in the background here was made known to me during my period in the hospital. I played this song. I played this song morning, noon, and night. That when I fully come around, I began, brethren, to have worship in that hospital room where we had lunch. I made friends. Other guys, we were there and we started to sing. We started to practice song. We exchanged gifts. And it was like I was in church again. The atmosphere that I used to came alive again. And right there, people could recognize that, yes, these guys, they are Christians. And I just want to say, to God be the glory, because friends, whatever you are going through, whatever, be it mental breakdown, be it depression, be it stress, whatever we are going through, let us remember that God sees the attack of the enemy way before he approaches. And he make the way for us. Never underestimate the power of prayer, the power of praying children, the power of the praying brethren. Let us continue to hold on to God and never give up, because God says thus far and no more to every attack of Satan on our lives. Friends, God hears the cry of the brethren and my family. as they cry on my behalf. Let us continue to hold strong, for God is with us. Amen.